from the beginning, please.
Okay.
So, my brothers and sisters, this was just like a case against Mirza Sahib in the light of his own writing. And I have quoted you one example when he gave two completely contradictory statements on the issue of plague. In one statement, he said, don't leave that place. In the other one, he said, immediately leave that place. There was clear contradiction. We have given you the perspective as well that why he made the information up. Now, I want to give you a second example as well. Please, the third page, Mansoor, by third page. Okay, look at this example. He says in Ruhani Khazain, volume 3, page 353, ये तो मसीह है कि अपने वतन गैलीली जाकर फोत हो गया. And then next again, Ruhani Khazain, volume 8, page 296. लुत्फ तो ये है कि हजरत ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम की बिलाद शाम में कब्र मौजूद है. What he said in English language, this is the Messiah who passed away in his hometown Galilee. Then he said that it is interesting that the grave of Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam, and this time he used the word Isa, so you cannot play the game of CM, etc. Okay, Isa ibn Maryam's grave is in Syria. Now look at statement number B, Ruhani Khazain, volume 19, page 16. और तुम यकीनन समझो कि ईसा इब्न मरियम फौत हो गया है और कश्मीर श्रीनगर महल्ला खानियार में इसकी कब्र है. What he said, and have certainty that Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam has passed away and his grave is in Kashmir, Srinagar, in Mahalla, in the vicinity of Khanyar. Okay, now obviously everybody can see these are two clearly contradictory statement. Number one. Number two, guess what? Not one of them, both of them are lies for sure. Now, look, he gave us a criteria and Quran gave us a criteria that the speech of a truthful person must not contain contradiction. There's a Quranic criteria. I want you people to see, is it contradiction or is it not? What would you say? Anand bhai, you want to comment?
Absolutely. So here, shall we translate first, or you know?
I did already. If you want to, I did already actually.
Okay. So it is clear that there are contradictions, right? And one of the basic criteria in Islam, the verse of the Quran clearly states that if something is not from Allah, it would have many contradictions in it. Okay, Allah says, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Afala yatadabbaruna al-Quran, walau kana min 'indi ghayrillah, lawajadu fihi ikhtilafan kathira." Do you not ponder upon the Quran that if it was from another source than Allah, then there would be many contradictions in it, many discrepancies in it. And this is what we find in the writings of Mirza, riddled with contradictions. Riddled with contradictions. I want Brother Bashir to come in and say something. He's been silent for a very long time. I really want him to participate in this stream. So what's your take on what has been presented so far, Brother Bashir? Why, I mean, if you see this as an impartial Ahmadi, okay, if someone who is a normal masjid-going Ahmadi, who doesn't know much about the writings, of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani, how would such a person feel?
Well, they would go through his writings and find the all the contradictions. I mean, the contradictions on prophethood are the biggest ones. He contradicted himself for 20 years in there's hundreds of references are there multiple editors here that have did have differing beliefs? Is that what it is? Is there an internal problem? Nuruddin says no. Isa alayhi salam has a father, astaghfirullah, and Mawli Abdul Kareem says no. Insects and hermaphrodites just create themselves, and now we're getting two different. So that's what I think it is. It's clear that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad didn't write anything. It was his team and their internal wranglings, and that played out in the split. So that's exactly what this is, brother. And one more thing, the Portuguese made up stories too about Jesus, about St. Thomas coming to India. They even built a church on the west coast of India. It's absurd. It never happened. But these are the types of, but they substantiated their a colonization of India through this. They said since St. Thomas came here and we have a connection with him, we deserve to be here. So this is what we're seeing play out, brother.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, uh, any Ahmadi who is sincere, who is interested in finding the truth. If you're not interested, there's no point of even listening to the stream and watching us talk. Okay. But if you are interested in truth, just at least go and check these references. At least go and check out what the case is. What are we trying to convey? Okay. The Murabbis and these missionaries have an audacity to go to Muslims knowing all of this. How can you do that? Do you not have a conscience? Do you not even think? Afala ta'qilun, as the Quran says. Afala yatafakkarun. Afala yandurun. The Quran repeatedly reminds us to use our akal. And Allah gives signs, you know. Allah is not going to come down himself personally to grab your hand, take you by hand, and take you to a Sunni masjid or a mainstream Muslim masjid. Allah will show you signs. And here Allah is showing you signs through us, through people like us. We are sitting a late night trying to convey this message to you guys. This is for you, the Ahmadi community. Muslims already believe in Allah and His Messenger. Okay? They are already Muslims. We are reaching out to you for you to understand and realize that this guy, this person, okay, if he wrote all of this, he is a grand liar. He's a grand fabricator. He's a grand manipulator, deceiver, you name it. Okay, he condemns himself. He condemns himself. He repeatedly said that if someone has lied once, is not trustworthy, cannot be trusted. Okay, and then he said, Kanjar or walad zina kehlane wale bhi jhoot bolte hai, sharmaenge. That people, even those who are bastards, will not lie. I mean, sorry, excuse my language. I have to really use this language to present the actual meaning of his words. He said even they will be ashamed of lying, and he was lying without shame against the Prophet of Allah, against the Quran. Okay, here in this example as well, you can see that there are clear contradictions. There are clear contradictions. So Imtiaz bhai, summarize again, inshallah, and we can move on to the next example, inshallah.
Mansoor bhai, can you please go on the top of on the very first page of this file? Is it yes, this one. So, my dear brothers and sisters in Ahmadiyya, let's wrap up this point. Please listen. Mirza Sahib himself gave you a criteria. What was the criteria? He said, झूठे के कलाम में तनाकुज़ जरूर होता है. रूहानी खजाइन volume 20. Let me open my file. रूहानी खजाइन volume number. Yes, volume number 21. Page number 275. What he said? Speech of a liar necessarily contains contradictions, right? Now, in one statement, he said that the grave of Isa ibn Maryam is in Syria. And then in the next statement, he said it is in Kashmir, Srinagar. You can all understand, brother, these are two factually contradicting statements about one subject matter, right? First of all, both of them are a lie. None of them is true. But at the same time, both of them are contradictory. Now listen, the argument is premise A. Mirza Sahib said that speech of a liar necessarily contains contradiction. Premise B, speech of Mirza Sahib contains contradiction. The logical conclusion is Mirza Sahib was a liar. Now, please tell us what else we can say. We let you think about this. And last point before, inshallah, we move on. Very important point. Please text message to your murabbis, your clerics, that do not sit in your rooms, in your own studios. Be a man, come here, face, and let's go back and forth so people can see what is the truth.